Okay, so hello, everybody. Captain's log. August 23rd, Monday, August 23rd. This is the industrial electronics class. I am in room 28109 of the Said building. It is 5:09. It took about 10, 12 minutes for me to set up the computer, but I'm assuming that once it's set up, it's not going to be a problem. So I'm connected right now. We have 17 students and myself. The whole group is here. Let's just confirm then you guys can hear me okay? You can?
We can.
And
Yes.
I'm gonna do the roll call. I'm going to do the roll call, but just so I can hear what you hear, okay? And yes, I am bald. Don't focus on that, please. I'm just going to do the roll call, and please open your mic so I can hear you. So, Omar,
Hello, Professor.
okay? Speak a little bit more.
Hi, Professor. How are you?
I'm here. I'm as good as I can be under these circumstances. Great to see
That's
you.
good.
Omar.
Whoa. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Omar. I'm lowering the screen right now. Alex, could you please speak and say a few things so I can see how it sounds?
Hi, Professor. Good afternoon. How are
Good.
you?
How are you feeling today?
Pretty good.
437%? So, okay, good. Thank you, Alex. Mariana, could you speak and say a few words just so I can gauge the audio?
Hi, how are you? Good afternoon. Happy Monday.
I'm good. Happy Monday to you, Mariana. Nice to see you. Rene, how are you doing?
Hello, Professor. Pretty good.
Good. Thanks, Rene. Lucia,
Hi, Professor.
good. I can hear you. Perfect. Thank you, Lucia. Jorge,
You're welcome.
Hi, Professor. How are you doing?
I'm good. I can hear you perfect. Very good. Diana, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Thank you, Diana. Nice to see you. Isaac,
Hi, Professor. How you doing?
I'm good. Isaac, thank you. Pedro,
Hi, Professor. Good afternoon.
good afternoon, Pedro. Karin,
Hi, Professor. Good afternoon.
hi, Karin. Good afternoon. Alejandro Lopez.
Hello, Professor. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Alejandro. Marisa.
Hi, Professor. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Marisa. Nice to see you. That's with the lighting. Ángel, how are you?
¿Cómo está, profe? Se mira que le va a dar calor.
I'm good. Aquí andamos. Nice to see you, Ángel. Paulina,
Hi, Professor.
how are you, Paulina?
I'm great. Thank you.
Good, perfect. I can hear you all as well. Good. Carmina.
Hi, Professor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Carmina. I can hear you perfect as well. JC, how are you?
Hi, Professor. Very good. How are you?
I'm good as well, and I can hear you perfectly. And Leonardo, how are you?
I'm good. Back home.
Oh, that's good. That's good, Leonardo. Good. Back home here, right?
Professor.
Good. Hi, JC. Yes. Nice to see you, Leonardo. Good that you're back. Yes, JC.
Are you alone in the room?
I hope so.
Why are you? Are you supposed to be wearing the?
Do you want to make me feel even more nervous about being
No,
here?
I'm asking you about the mask and
I am alone
the
in the room.
extra protection.
Yeah, I am alone in the room right now. So one of the things we're going to be testing this week is right now I'm in the classroom, and this is the level of audio in the classroom. I'm going to be doing some experiments moving around the classroom. The idea is that what we're going to be experiencing this week, I don't know where to turn. I'm looking at the screen, but I should be looking over here. What we're going to be experiencing this week is basically for those of you that are going to be at home, this is how it's going to be. Okay. So I'm going to be testing many things during these 3 days. Well, this week and next week. that have to do with things that we're going to be doing. So I need you guys to take note. I need you guys to be participative and to let me know and provide feedback, please. So if any adjustments, and when I mean feedback, I mean anything having to do with audio. If we can't hear things, if we can't see things, I'm going to try as much as possible to replicate how this class is going to be under the hybrid circumstances. The only situation right now is that we don't have students in the classroom. The classroom, I think I can move the tripod so you can see how it's going to be. For example, I just moved to the corner of the room. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
So has the audio been affected when I move? So right now I'm in the far corner of the room. You can't see me, but you can still hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
I hear you, but not as well as when you're in the front of the classroom.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm gonna try to move the camera just so maybe you can see how the classroom is going to look. So the classroom is going to be something like this. You see that I can't move this anymore because it's tied down. You can see that each seat is marked. Each seat is marked, and that's where you're going to be sitting. And at least this room apparently has a capacity of 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems to have a capacity for 16. This is off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has a capacity for 16 students, but I'm not sure if I believe that it's not going to be filled to top capacity. They haven't told us. Okay. What you're seeing right now, this would be the whiteboard, but the screen is down. Okay. So I believe that the image is a bit white. If I do that, you can see yourselves, right? Okay, and if that's a screen with yourselves. I don't have any markers, so I'm not going to be able to write right now. But that's kind of the way the screen would look if I were to be writing there. I'm not going to be doing any writing I'm not going to be doing much writing on the whiteboard. I'm going to still be using I'm still going to be using the computer for that, so don't worry so much about that. Okay, good. So I think we can see each other and we can hear each other. I just want to state for the record that there is no air conditioning in the classroom. That is, the air conditioning should have been on. And so I've been moving here the air conditioning thing and nothing happened. So there's no air conditioning. That needs to be reported. Okay, good. Let's start seeing how this is going to go. You may leave your cameras on or off as you wish. But please, when I ask something, turn on your mics and provide feedback because I need to know what's happening. Any questions up to this point?
No questions.
Okay. What I'm going to be doing now is that I'm going to be putting on the screen the PowerPoint presentation like we would do normally. Okay. What's going to happen? Those of you who are on Zoom are going to be able to see the screen. Okay, same as you would in any other circumstance. For students here, they would be seeing the PowerPoint on the screen. I'm just going to ask you guys to be a little bit patient because one of the odd things that happened in my computer is that for some reason my mouse stopped working. So I'm using the pen mouse and that's going to be maybe a bit slow. Okay. Okay, give me a moment. Okay. As you see right now, in the classroom, for those of you who would be here in the classroom, you would be seeing the screen, and that's the PowerPoint presentation on the screen. I'm going to share it right now, and you should be seeing it normally in you should be seeing it normally in Zoom. Okay, but you're seeing give me a moment. Okay. Okay, for those of you who are at home, can you please confirm that you're seeing the PowerPoint presentation?
We are.
Yes.
Seeing the slide? So you're seeing the slides normally. You guys are at home, right? You're seeing them on the screen. Right now, you should be seeing the dark side of the moon. You should be seeing this slide in your screen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And as well, you can see the classroom, so you can see me, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that is really not cool. Okay, good. So if I reference the slide here, you can see it, okay? Good. We're okay up to that point. It is 5:21 and the air conditioning just kicked in. No. Okay, so we're going to continue what we were talking about regarding light. And we were talking about, if I'm not mistaken, we were talking about reflection and refraction. And I asked you to try to do the following experiment that had to do with taking a piece of paper, a marker, some glass, and some water, and some other things, and to try to do these experiments with reflection and refraction. In the case of this experiment that we have here, we're going to have two arrows that are drawn on the same direction. And we're going to have a glass of water. We had already talked about the fact that the glass of water is going to be an element that is going to create reflection and refraction effects. And we already talked about what factors were involved with it. Can somebody remind us of those factors that are going to change the way we look at the arrow? Anybody?
I think that it was the body of water and also the way of the or the shape of the glass. But it has like 2 layers.
It had, I'm just checking the volume here. Okay. So, so one is the medium. So we have water there. Different types of mediums are going to generate different types of refraction. We also have the glass in itself that's curved and has, let's say, 2 layers that are going through and back. And those combined are going to generate the refraction effect. Question, pause, question. Did you notice a change in the volume or of the sound when I'm talking a couple of minutes ago?
Yeah, we did. It got like a little bit worse when you began the screen sharing.
Oh, really? The screen sharing?
Yeah.
But also, I noticed that your volume was a little bit affected, at least here in the classroom when the air conditioning got on. So just note about that, when the air conditioning kicked on, the audio, we need the audio to be heard. Okay. Moving on. What happens is that when we lower the image towards the glass, we're going to see a reflection effect where the arrow seems to be turned the other way around. Okay? Now, depending on the type of glass, the curvature of the glass, the medium, even the size of the arrows is how this experiment is going to go in reality. Did any of you try to do this? Who tried to do this? Did it work? Show of hands. Jorge, did you try to do it? And Karen as well, and Omar. What were your results, Jorge?
Well, at the beginning, it was difficult because it depends on the perspective of the person. At the end, I achieved the experiment. I can show you a picture you want.
Sure, yes, please. And you make a good observation, Jorge, that it as well is not going to depend on just upon the surface of the type of glass in the medium. It also depends on the distance and the perspective of the viewer. It's not the same if you're really close to the glass or separated. Do you have a picture that you could share?
Yeah, sure. Let me show the screen.
I think let me stop sharing here. Go ahead.
Can you see the
Oh, nice,
picture?
nice. That's a real life experiment.
Yeah.
And some could argue that the background might be in Valle de Guadalupe or something like that, but that isn't correct. Right? That's the palm tree.
I was at my grandpa's house.
Okay, that's good. Very well done. Well done, Jorge. Karen, how did it go with you? Thank you, Jorge.
First, I was drawing the arrow and I drew it 2 times and it was bigger, so it didn't work. But then I did it smaller and it worked. I have pictures too, if you want me to share.
Just to share how it went with your experiment.
Okay, just give me a second.
Just while Karen does that, I can say that here in the classroom, at least up till now, everything that you guys have said has been clear and can be heard perfectly. And whatever you're sharing, for example, Jorge, you just shared the screen, and we can see it on the screen, just like Karen right now is sharing the screen, and we can see it perfectly. Oh, nice. The thing is, notice that this glass is a bit more chubbier than the glass that Jorge used. And if I'm not mistaken, because this is kind of like a mason jar type glass, is that correct, Karen? And I think your glass
Yes.
is more like a wine sort of or beer glass sort of thing. And so this one that Karen is showing us is probably thicker. It's chubbier and thicker than probably the one that Jorge was using. And the curvature is more towards semi-square than the complete round of the other one. And so you notice that the arrow kind of stretches out. Okay, good. Nice. Well done, Karen. Well done. And Omar, how did it go with you?
Yes, I did it. Let me share the pictures. Just give me a second. Whoa, spoilers. Well, here we have first like the arrows and the glass that I used. And here's the final result. Let me make a little zoom. Just give me a second.
Oh, we can see that the arrow is inverted. And the curious thing there is
Yeah.
that it's not just a refraction effect, we have a kind of a distortion effect as well, because the glass has sort of carvings, right?
Yeah. Yeah, my glass isn't like plain glass. It has like these lines that alter the image of the reflection.
Nice, nice. And notice, because we're going to be talking about this effect. I need to look at the camera. we need to talk about this effect, because what's happening here is not only the reflection and the refraction effect, because of the, notice that because of the markings, the etchings that the glass has, notice that there's also a sort of a distortion effect that makes it look kind of like a zebra thing. We're gonna talk a little bit about those effects as well. Good job, Kumar.
Thank you, Prof.
Nice, good. I'm glad you guys did the experiment. Now what I would like us to do is that we're going to see a few other experiments, and we're going to test video now. Okay? We're going to be testing video. So let me come back over here. Give me a moment. The slowness right now has nothing to do with the setup in the classroom, by the way. It's because for some reason my mouse doesn't work and I'm having to use the pen, and that's making things a bit slower. So let me maximize this. Let me just go back to Zoom. I'm going to share screen. Sound. Okay. Now, first off, are you guys that are in Zoom, can you see this image of a sort of a video game or something like that?
Yes.
The YouTube one,
Yes.
it's an image, it seems to be that says Genshin redeem code and whatever. Can you see that right now?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to play the video and see how the audio works.
Time to scout.
That's just the advert. People at home, can you hear that in your computers?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear.
And you can actually hear it here in the classroom as well, right? You can hear also so you can hear it in your computers, from your computers playing through Zoom, but you could also hear it here. Is that a problem?
Yeah, there is no problem.
I'm gonna play it again, and we'll see. I'm gonna play the video, and I'm gonna ask for feedback after.
Visibility is excellent. If we head to higher ground, we can do a full recon of enemy activity.
just as a note there in what we saw previously, remember that we talked about the index of refraction. And so the index of refraction was this relationship that existed between the speed of light and the speed of light through a particular medium. And that relationship is called the index of refraction. It's going to generate the refraction. When the index of refraction of two materials are the same, the angle, the bouncing angle effect of light is going to generate that canceling out effect that we saw with the vegetable oil, where we have one glass and we have a shot glass inside. When we put the vegetable oil in, it seems like the glass has disappeared. You can also do that with a glass rod. These sort of glass or plastic rods that are used to mix drinks. You can also do that experiment. I recommend you guys do that experiment at home as well, and maybe share the results. So that this experiment can be done like this. You've got two materials that have different indexes of refraction with another material. And you notice that in this particularly the oil and the glycerin, it seems like the rod is disappearing, but it does appear in the water. Remember that I don't remember if you mentioned this, and I think you mentioned this in electricity and magnetism, but I asked you guys to watch the movie The Prestige, because it had to do with electricity and magnetism, and we had Tesla appears in the movie, and etc. But in the end, a lot of illusions and seeing things that seem like magical illusions, making things disappear. We're going to talk about holograms in a bit. In the end, they're just playing around with light and tricks of light and index as a reflection, refraction, mirrors as well. You know that magic has done a lot with the use of mirrors. And that's an example of making something disappear. And this is an interesting, this is an interesting, sorry about that. This is an interesting experiment because we've got the materials and it goes dark. And this is an example of reflection and refraction, and what we talk about, which is total internal reflection. So we've got the laser going in, and it seems that the container is capturing the laser, and that the laser is inside, and that's because of the total internal refraction that, remember, we mentioned that certain materials, such as diamonds, have that. That's why when light hits a diamond, it seems like the diamond is sparkling or generating light, and it's because that effect of the total internal reflection that occurs with the light seeming to be trapped inside. Example of reflection and refraction, the curvature of some of the rays going through. Some of the rays bounce back, some of the rays going through. No part of the
Professor,
yes.
I don't know if the rest of the class, but we cannot listen to you because of the video.
Yeah, same right here.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Michelle.
We cannot listen to you because the video is playing. So as the video is playing, you were talking and we can't listen to you.
Oh, okay, good. Just question, Lucia. Is it that you can't listen to me because of the volume that I'm speaking and the audio of the video is on top of that? Or is it that you can't hear me because the sound of this microphone gets blocked off?
No, we can hear you, but we don't understand you. So it's because you're sharing the screen.
And the audio, okay, good.
Uh-huh.
Good. So yeah, but when I pause the video, you can't hear me, right? Not when
Yes.
it's right. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Okay. What I was mentioning here, I actually did that on purpose to see if you could hear me on top of the video. What I was mentioning here is that in this material that we've got here, that piece of, I don't know if it's glass or plastic or whatever, depending on the angle of incidence of the angle of incidence of the light, we can either generate reflection or a combination of reflection and refraction, or the total internal reflection where there's no part of the light refracted and everything stays inside. We're almost done with this video. So I urge you to try to do some of these experiments. Probably what makes it most complicated is to get the glycerin. But you can do those experiments. You can even get a typical laser and you can demonstrate these effects that have to do with reflection and refraction. Okay, before we move along, comments about the video playback. Besides what you just said, thank you, Lucia, about the comment of talking on top of the video, that you can hear that. But for the rest, mostly, could you see and hear the video?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Now I'm going to simulate something. I'm going to go to the back of the room and ask the question. Can I go to the bathroom? What did I'm going to come back. What did I just say? Did anybody hear what I said when I went back there?
No, not
I
today.
couldn't understand.
No.
Yeah,
Not really.
Okay, I'm going to repeat it. Did you hear it there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we did on that one. Yeah.
What did I say?
Then you want to go to the bathroom.
But in Spanish. Okay. Now let me do another experiment. I didn't get the part about the total internal reflection. Could you please repeat that? Could you hear the classmate there? What did I say? If so,
Not really. Something about
Not really.
if you could repeat something.
oh, okay, interesting. Then let me do another experiment. Okay, I didn't understand the part about the total internal reflection. Could you please repeat that? I'm recording everything, so I'm going to be able to hear, I think, in the WhatsApp what I'm, what the mic is touching. But could you hear what I said there?
Yeah, I did.
What did I say?
That someone didn't understood something, and that if you could repeat it. I
Repeat
think.
it. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
just checking the direction of the microphone for the layout here in the classroom. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move along with it. Okay, now we're going to be, well, let's talk a little bit about reflection and refraction in plane surfaces. Now, it's different when we talk about plane surfaces or curved surfaces. In plane surfaces, we're talking about a flat surface. This is an example of a mirror, a flat mirror. Different surfaces have different reflective and refractive properties. So let's assume that we have a mirror. It's a completely reflective surface. What does a completely reflective surface mean? It means that if I put something in front of it, the way the light is going to be hitting that something, it's going to be represented exactly the way it is and with the same proportion and apparent distance as it is in real life. That's with a flat mirror, a mirror that does not have any sort of curvature. So what's happening? Remember the rule that I told you guys in the last few sessions. What we see has to do with the light that is reflected off things. If we don't have light, there's nothing reflected off things and we can't see. Okay, so what's happening here? We've got a flat mirror, and then we've got a little pill bottle here. Okay, and so and there's an eye here. Okay? And so what's happening? There's light hitting the different parts or sections of the pill bottle. That light is bouncing off and hitting the mirror. Since the mirror is a completely reflective surface, and remember that with reflection, the light is going to hit the surface, and when there's a completely reflective surface, the angle that it bounces off is going to, there's going to be a relationship. It's going to be the same angle. So there's a point P where light is hitting this point P and it's hitting the reflective surface, and this is going to bounce back. Same thing happens with a point P apostrophe. Light hits this point, it bounces off the flat mirror at angles that correspond to where the object is. Now, what this diagram that we're seeing here is a diagram that marks the reflection arrows for a particular situation. Now, what's happening here? There's a distance d0 from the mirror to the object at any point of the object. And what's actually happening here is that if I project the lines of reflection, if I project the lines of reflection in this completely reflective surface, there is another object, that's this virtual object, that seems to be appearing, or that would be appearing behind the mirror. This is a virtual reflection or a virtual object that's appearing at the same distance, but apparently behind the mirror. That's the effect we see where the object seems to be completely replicated on the other side with exactly the same distance. This is always going to happen with a plane or a flat reflective surface. Okay, the light is going to bounce off, and the angles are going to be the same, and we're going to be seeing exactly in the same proportion and distance what we put in front of the reflective surface. And this is what happens when we look at ourselves in the mirror. If we step back, it seems like the image is stepping back as well. If we move forward, it seems like the image is moving forward, because this distance to the virtual object in the background is also going to change. And that's because of the reflective properties when we do this projection that seemingly creates the object in the background. Okay. Okay, now questions up to this point before we do a break, because I need to reboot my computer because of the mouse thing. Questions up to this point? Any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to close the session, the Zoom session, and I'm going to restart my computer to see what's happening with the mouse that it stopped working. And please log in again to the Zoom waiting room, and I'll let you in as soon as my computer has logged back on. Okay. See you in a bit. See you in 10 minutes.